She just really, really loved her teachers, and she was always excited to be at school. She loved what she did there, and she just couldn't do enough for her teacher. She would bring little gifts to her teacher, maybe a little piece of fruit or a flower or something else, and always let her teacher know how much she really cared about her. But the problem was that when Carolyn got home, she was a whole different person. You know, her mom had been busy. That woke us up. Okay, her mom had been busy all day doing things and working, and when she was there, it was time for supper, and she would ask Carolyn to help her with supper, and Carolyn didn't want to do it at all. So when she'd be in the kitchen and her mom would say, "Can you put this dish on the table?" Or "Can you put the spoons and knives and forks out for me?" Well, Carolyn would be unhappy. So she'd take the dish and kind of slam it on the table and sort of put a spoon here and a knife here and a fork there, in a not very neat way, and just not happy. And she'd be grouching the whole time. "Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? I don't want to do this. This isn't what I do. Why can't I go out and play?" And so on. Well, this went on for a long time. Well, one day, Mom told Carolyn that the next day they were going to have a special visitor at supper time. So Carolyn came home from school the next day, and as usual, she was in a grouchy mood. And Mom said, "Carolyn, would you help me set the table, put the dishes out, put things out for me?" "Oh, Mom, I don't want to do that. Why do I have to do that?" And she'd be going on and on. So she'd take the things out, and she just kind of slammed them on the table. And instead of putting in spoons, knives, and forks neatly on the table, she just put them kind of haphazardly wherever they happened to fall. And the glasses, she didn't have them really in front of the plate very well. They were just kind of wherever. And the plates were sort of in front of the chairs, but not real well. Napkins, well, they were there wherever too. And she was complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. And so Mom said, "Can you help me put the special food out today? You know, we have a visitor, so can you help me put the food out?" "Oh, Mom, why do I have to do that? You always got me doing all of this." So she grudgingly takes the food out and puts it on the table. And you can just hear her grouching and griping and complaining. Well, she's finally said to her mom, "Well, where is this visitor anyway? Why do we have to have visitors? I don't see anybody. Where are they?" And Mom said, "Well, our special visitor is in the next room over here, in the living room." And the living room is right attached to the dining room. So she couldn't see who the visitor was. So Mom finally said, "Won't you come in? You want to come in? We're ready for dinner here." So do you know who walked in? Her teacher. And Carolyn was, she was shocked. She was so surprised because she knew the teacher had heard her grouching and complaining. And here this was a special thing for her special teacher, and she hadn't put the spoons and knives and forks out very well, and the dishes were kind of just wherever, and the glasses, the whole table didn't look nice at all. The things were there, but they weren't put out in a very nice way. And Mom would ask her to take some food, and she'd kind of put it in strange places on the table, not where it really belonged. And here was her teacher. Well, this teacher looked and she said, "Well, you know, this isn't the Carolyn that I know. You seem to be a very different person here at home." Well, Carolyn was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed. And the whole meal, she didn't say hardly anything. She just sat there with a really sad look on her face. Well, that night after the teacher left, she went up to her room and she sat there and she cried a little bit. And you know, she realized that she had not been treating her mom very well. It wasn't just that she wanted to look good in front of her teacher. She realized she had not been good to her mom. Here her mom was working hard all day to do things, and at home at night she needed a little bit of help, and you know, it really wasn't that hard. It really wasn't that hard. So why had she made such a fuss about it? And now her very favorite teacher had seen her grouchy, had seen her acting not nice at all. What would she think of her? So right then and there, Carolyn got down on her knees and she asked Jesus to forgive her. She asked Jesus to forgive her. And then she went downstairs and she asked Mom to forgive her too. And Mom said, well, I do forgive you. And I hope you've learned a valuable lesson here. So the next day when she went to school, she told her teacher how sorry she was. And she realized she'd been wrong. And you know, after that, Carolyn had a whole different attitude when she came home from school. She was the same person at home as she was at school. She was happy, and she was happy to help her mom, just like she was happy to help the teacher. And you know, I think the teacher understood too. So folks, you know, just remember, sometimes we act differently with our family than we do with our friends or our teachers. And it's just really important to be the people that Jesus wants us to be with everybody. And folks, even as adults, we need to remember that too. Thank you.